On your calculator, you can use that function called one variable stat. So after you type in all of your data and edit it under a list, you can use one variable stats to get your basic statistics like your sample size, your sample mean, your sample standard deviation. And it will also give you your 5-number summary, your minimum, Q1, medium, Q3, and your maximum. For question C, we want to interpret the value that is the Q3 value, which here is 4 kilograms. So Q3 is the same thing as P75. When you create your 5-number summary, what it does is it takes all of your data and divides, well, first it orders it from least to greatest, and then it divides it into quartiles, 4 quartiles specifically. So Q1, Q2, and Q3. So Q3 separates the top 25% of all of your data values from the bottom 75% of all of your values. So that Q3 value of 4 kilograms means this in the context of this problem. Now remember that we do have some context. So this is telling us that approximately 75% of student weight changes, and we're talking about in this sample, right, are less than 4 kilograms, and approximately 25% of weight changes are greater than 4 kilograms. Okay? All right. I want to go back to question 1A because I didn't answer the rest of the question. We wanted to know, is it unusual based on this data here? Is it unusual that students gain 15 pounds? Why or why not? So here we only have sample data. Remember that we're not doing a hypothesis test or any type of inferential test here. We'll do that later on in chapter 8 and 9. So here, just based on our sample data, we see that we have an average or a mean value of 1.89, and that's in kilograms, which is approximately 4.2 pounds. Okay, so just from our sample data here, we can see that 4.2 pounds feels really far away from 15 pounds. Okay, but again, this is just our gut feeling. So because it feels like it's so far away from 15 pounds, we can make a statement like, based on our sample data, we don't believe that it is normal that students gain 15 pounds. We think that it's probably closer to our sample mean of about 4.2 pounds. And then later on in chapter 8, we can verify this by doing some statistical analysis on it called a hypothesis test. Let's take a look at the last question, D. So D wants us to explain the meaning of the interquartile range, which can be calculated by finding the difference between Q3 and Q1. So notice that Q3 is the 75th percentile and Q1 is the 25th percentile. So the IQR measures the range. It measures the change or the range of the middle 50% of all weight changes in our sample data. So let's go ahead and calculate that value. So Q3 is 4 kilograms minus Q1, which is minus 2 kilograms. So that gives us a range. So this gives us a middle range of 6 kilograms, which is approximately 13 pounds. Okay, so in one sentence, you can say something like, the IQR of 6 kilograms represents the range of weight changes of the middle 50% of weight changes in this sample.